I'm going to go through this and just like pick out some of the chords because I swear to God, man, some of these chords just immediately gave me goosebumps when I heard them. And like I've listened to this track like 10 times in the last few days and I just like can't get enough of it. It's so good. So let's break it down a little bit.
First the tide rushes in.
So that's the first cool bit, all right? I know this is all going to be very stoppy-starty. Watch the full video, uninterrupted, from start to finish. It's an amazing listen. I would hate to be this. I'd hate for this broken up version to be the first time people probably listen to it. But anyway, that first chord. It's the 5th and the 3rd of D flat, which is the key we're in. But then we land straight on a D flat major 7, and that is just, it's a beautiful voicing on piano, but with vocals and the way it stacks together, and it's all nice and crunchy and cozy little harmonies. Compared to the next chord, which is all stacked 5ths, and all of a sudden the sound is stretched out a bit. Like the chords don't sound so, the notes, sorry, don't sound so like squished together. So you get this real like tense, not tense, but like compact chord, and then it just releases out to 5ths. And you can hear it loads in the voice of the way it's recorded. You can really hear how it like bunches up sonically and then it loosens off for the second chord. Just check it.
First the tide rushes in.
You know what I mean?
Plants a kiss on the shore.
Like a 4 or 5.
Then rolls out to sea, and the sea is very still once more.
Now that bit right there is probably my favorite little section of it because of the way those voicings kind of like dance together and change in different directions. It's amazing. So we get no. So we're on like it's like the 6, a dominant 6, ready to possibly resolve to a minor 2, but it kind of does, but it kind of doesn't. So, and then we get those 4/3 chords right there. So you get a E flat minor 7, flat 5. And then it technically resolves kind of to this weird augmented thing, but it's such a passing chord you don't really think about it. And it resolves to G flat minor major 6. I love it so much. Just that whole sequence, the way it resolves like that is just incredible.
And the sea is very still once more.
It's just so cool because it's one chord and then the top note comes down and the bottom note comes up. So it's literally shrinking everything together. I love it so much.
So I rush to your side.
Strong 5ths right there.
Like the oncoming tide.
So 1 again.
With one burning fire, will your arms open wide?
We got that amazing. Goes from a B flat 7, like a dominant 7. Changes the voicing so that 7 is now on the bottom, up at the top. And it's like desperate to resolve.
At last,
Solid G flat major, like a 4. There's no extra fancy stuff. It's like it knows it's just throwing this crazy chord, and it settles you down with a nice solid, no frills kind of G flat major.
face to face, and as we kiss.
Now here we go. This is where it starts messing around.
Through an embrace.
And it immediately goes into something amazing as well, but just... Oh God, what is it? So it goes down to like, let me just hang on. On the minor 6 there. And then it kind of chromatically does this weird kind of like, it drops down a semitone and goes back up again. It kind of gives this weird, like we're in a new key center. Like, and then it just goes, I don't know, was not expecting it, but from a B flat minor to an to a G flat minor major 6. But it's the voicing, it's this. And then it resolves obviously to a beautiful D flat, which is the root, but it doesn't last very long because as soon as we get to that D flat,
I can tell.
That's a kind of strange bit. I feel like it's very, very cool, but it's all it is after all of those crazy chords and harmonies and stuff. It just goes, which kind of sounds ominous when you're not thinking about the context of the chords that are around it, but it's probably something like, definitely not that. Because the next chord it goes to is back to
like the tide at its ebb, I'm at peace in the web.
That's the one. So again, does the similar kind of thing, but it just changes it at the last second. Some fancy name for that chord, but essentially it's a... what is it? It's like half diminished with a sharp 7. I don't know. It's basically nearly a minor 4, but it's not quite. It's like spelt slightly differently.
Of your love.
And then we end not in D flat, which is the other crazy thing. Is that we've been in that key the whole time, but we just ended there, and it doesn't sound like it's waiting to resolve, but it kind of technically should. It's almost like he switches key, changes key right at the end. Literally, the last like 3 seconds of the track, he's like, I'll throw a key change in there. Why not? So, where do we end up? Okay, so we end. We hit the 1 chord, but it's a first inversion. So this is the 1. This is the 1 first inversion. Same thing, but the bass is the 3rd instead of the root. Then we get this, which is the chord that we've been using as like a pivot to get to there, which means we then go to there, which means we then go to there or whatever. But this time it goes, then it keeps sinking. And then finally, we're on A flat. And it's because it's got that little mechanism in there. It's so strong and so like, oh, this sounds like an ending, that it's almost like you forget what key you're in and you're not bothered by the fact that you've just changed key or you don't notice. It's very cool. It's very, very clever. I think it's awesome.